Alright, looks like I got you to click on this video. The Genshin clickbait worked. But to be honest, Genshin has become boring and stagnant after its initial release. Most of the player base has become bored and the game lost the fun and magic it once had. But that isn't a surprise considering this is a game made by those greedy fucks at MiHoYo. MiHoYo itself are probably the ones that are going to kill off this game, but what has Genshin lost and what has it become now? Genshin Impact released on September 28, 2020, an anime-style open-world action RPG with an elemental magic and character switching system that also implements the gacha mechanic. And with that gacha mechanic, holy shit, they got a lot of money. As of March 2022, the game has grossed over $4 billion. That's a lot of simps. But can you fault them? The character designs of Genshin is, I'd say, one of the best aspects of the game. One of the game's most successful character banners was Raiden Shogun, a literal goddess that pulls a katana from her boobs. Now that's fucking hot. And just recently, like a month ago, there was Yelan, with their amazing aesthetic, soundtrack, skills, and of course, armpits. I mean, God, who doesn't want to lick Yelan's armpits? Then there's the fan art, which is just absolutely overwhelming at times. 1 out of 5 posts in my Twitter is a Genshin fan art. And of course, I can't fail to mention the amount of Rule 34 that exists. Genshin fan art exists everywhere as well as the cosplayers. Every convention you go to, 1 out of 3 cosplayers is a Genshin character. I went to a convention a month ago and I'd say 70% of the cosplays were Genshin. As for the game itself, the story and lore is what captivated me and some of the player base. It takes you to the world of Teyvat, wherein you have to journey across this world to find your brother/sister depending on who the character you choose. And the character you choose is important because you will get fucking bullied if you choose Aether. But for me, I don't really care, and yes, I did choose Aether. You got a problem with that? The first part of the game takes you to Mondstadt, a medieval Germany-inspired place with a god whose gender identity is questionable and is a motherfucking alcoholic. The story is very anime and isekai-like. You get transported, you're super powerful, you get waifus, you fight/meet a god/magical creature. Then there's the second part of Mondstadt, which I fucking hate, Dragonspine, your typical ice/snow area. The second part takes you to Liyue, the China-inspired nation with a broke god who pretty much does nothing, but hey, it has Ningguang. Third is Inazuma, the Japan-inspired nation which is an absolute hassle to get through with its archipelago design. I think I hate it more than Dragonspine. At least Dragonspine is all one big place, not separated by water. And the most recent one, which is just about to get released, Sumeru, the Middle Eastern South Asia-inspired nation that introduces the Dendro element. All of these places are stunning and gorgeous, but none of that matters because you're only going through some of the places once for a split second. The story has 2 main storylines. One that involves the Fatui, the organization based on Snezhnaya, which I think is pretty much the Soviet Union. I don't really care much about them because I prefer the other storyline. But hey, Arlecchino is hot. The other storyline involves the previously mentioned sibling, which I prefer because there's a personal attachment with your character. To be honest, I can't give 2 fucks about the Fatui. Aside from that, Arlecchino is hot. And all of this shit that I mentioned, which you probably already know, takes you about 2 weeks to complete. Well, I did it in 1 month because I have better shit to do, but my friends with their accounts said they did it in 2 weeks, so 2 weeks it is. I started playing Genshin April of 2022, pretty recent, and about mid-June I was already bored with it. The way Genshin releases new content is they release a patch every 6 weeks, and the content they release can be done literally within a fucking day. So Genshin is fun for about 1 day every 6 weeks. But aside from the patches they release, what else can you do? Well, you can build your characters to make them better and have stronger teams. All you have to do is beat the same fucking boss about 60 times in a course of a couple of weeks, while also collecting random shit like plants, mushrooms, shells, and rocks. You can also grind artifacts, which depending on your luck, can take you fucking forever. Damn, what a true gacha game. In the end, it's obvious why Genshin has become boring. It's the lack of new content and the daily things you can do are just an absolute hassle and a chore to get through. Now, I do still recommend playing Genshin because in the first weeks of playing it, it's so much fun. You get to experience an amazing story with beautiful characters while going on a journey with a stunning setting. The best way to play Genshin is a couple of days every 6 weeks. Don't play it daily because it will just become a nuisance. And also, just read the dojins, they are way better than the actual game itself. If this video gets 2 likes, I'll make one about my favorite Genshin dojins.